One thing to just kind of say before I get started and all, I had one kind of retcon slash clarification from last session, because I played back my kind of notes and recording of the session, and I was horribly inconsistent about the year that this campaign takes place in. The correct answer is 1256, and that's the part that actually matters. Everything else is a lot of fluff, but 1256 is the year.
I mean, I'm not even sure my character knows what year it is.
That's fair, but
Honestly,
I just wanted to put it out
I
there.
think my
It was
character
like a point
probably
of
knows.
contention, like, what year is it? Would I know?
Jacob, what were you saying?
What is the exact date? May I ask?
I'm gonna have
If you have that prepared, if you don't, it's cool.
I don't have the exact date, but I can get that to you probably after the session.
I think it's also like kind of fluid because we're meeting at different days.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
It'll be very solid soon enough.
Gotcha.
Okay. And with that out of the way, we resume. Well, when last we left our heroes, let's do a little recap first. Travels to the north have been, to put it mildly, curious. We have had adventurers traveling northernward by means of teleportation, incursions in the Fae, and encounters with escaping by the skin of their teeth, a group of hags. We've had travelers who journeyed southernward towards lands of druids and groves, and shipways up north after finding a tome detailing the construction and organization and function of a massive city from distant pasts or distant futures. We've had a spy transport in with missions to learn, to understand, and to document. And finally, a musician who's traveling to the fields of Koratos and the Alwina mountain range in search of inspiration for ballads and songs, tales of heroes, and knowledge. And with that quick summary, we shall jump into tonight's session. And I'd say roll that clip, but we don't actually have intros or anything because I'm cheap and poor and can't afford animations, unfortunately.
Bwah, bwah, bwah. Whoa.
It is what it is.
Yeah, this we're gonna make the new intro right here.
Okay, and with that, we return to the ice-swept lands of Koratos, up to the northern reaches of Heimgardan, where we have 13, and soon Lepticus. 13 having arrived that day. Night is falling. Lepticus still in a cart, probably a day out at most. Number 13. What would you like to do?
I am heading over to the alchemists, if I remember right.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, I'm headed over there.
Okay. One
I
second.
forget the exact name of the place. I have it somewhere. Moosehead?
That was the furrier.
Ah.
Actually, I don't think we had the alchemist shop's name. Whether you got it or not, I actually don't believe I gave it. It's called the Silver Flask.
Gotcha.
And it is run by a dwarf named, sorry, lost in notes.
Just spill everything right now.
What?
Spill
Yeah, who's
everything.
the big bad?
Oh, spill everything. Well,
How many hit points does the big bad have? What all over?
Okay, yeah, let's jump forward like about 40 sessions. What's happening?
Okay, so 40
all
sessions
dead.
from now, Yes, you are all dead.
We
No.
all died.
No.
Uh, the alchemist's name is Jovog Kishian, a dwarven fellow who, as you enter kind of a small bell dings above the door and it opens. There's the window. It has like small metal frames kind of woven into an actual glass panel, so you can see into the shop and see all sorts of different potions, glass flasks in every shape and size, large beakers, small test tubes. Brains farting. Sorry, that's just me. There are actually a lot of leather pouches as well that would be used to hold liquids, flasks. Probably a couple alcohols here as well if you looked hard enough for it. But they have basically everything. And let me actually put his name in chat because it is spelled funky. Or,
Okay.
it's not spelled funky, it's just spelled normally for where he's from.
His name is just Funcky. It's spelled funky, but pronounced different.
Jovog Kishian. And so you kind of enter the shop and kind of see him kind of hoist himself up towards the counter. It's a bit lower of a counter, but even then he still has to get up a little bit. Kind of wearing darker blue coveralls, kind of brown hair, very kind of scattered on the top of his head, and long beard, kind of connecting through with mustache and everything. Kind of a very almost, I don't want to say stereotypical, but a stereotypical dwarf.
Gotcha. I'm going to go in, sort of shivering just a little bit, and say, "Oh, sir, I have been in the cold wilderness for nearly a year now. You do, or the only meal I had to eat was a thin rabbit was a good one. I am looking for refuge from the cold and a place where I could put down some roots. I'm interested in the objects that are coming from the nearby mountain for personal reasons. If it's not too much to ask, could I please ask about what exactly this mining operation is uncovering, and where can I find furs for warmth?"
Well, if you're looking for furs, you're gonna need to stop by Serge over at the Moose's Head. Hang on. Whoops, hang on. Sorry, my thing is functioning improperly. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, all good now. Well, if you're looking for furs, you're gonna need to stop by Serge over at the Moose's Head. As for what's coming down, it's most of the other guilds and guild shops are gonna be carving out a bit of anything that's coming. Weapons, you're gonna have to find them elsewhere. I mostly get leftover greasy animal pelts and lots of things that I'm gonna need identifying and just,
What sort of things?
well, quite frankly, there's everyone in this town kind of has some abilities of their own, and they find themselves rough and grumbled by societies, and they like to find little bits of enchanted whatnots here and there, whether it be, well, sometimes they'll bring me weapons to figure out what's good about them. Sometimes I'll just find potions, and I've dealt a little bit in scrolls, but it's really not my thing. Liquids are much more mutable than paper.
And are all of these from the mountain?
I think so. I'd hope so. Or, honestly, I really don't care, so long as it brings a coin in.
That is
My
fair.
job is a servant. I merely humbly ask for business. And so long as people find me willing to provide, I serve my tasks.
Is it possible if I could see some of these objects from the mountain? My clan has recently been wiped out under an avalanche. The only clue I found was strange markings on an object that I have since lost.
Well, I can certainly show you some things. He kind of pulls down a couple potions, and you see some things floating in a couple of them. Wide variety of colors. He kind of pulls a couple of scrolls of paper from a nearby chest that he had access to. Well, this is all what we've got right here, right now. We've kind of, once we figure out what the weapons is, we kind of do a little surcharge and send it over to other spots.
Okay, can I take a look at them and see if any of them look familiar?
Familiar how?
Familiar as in, like, what the guild and Total is searching for.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay. It is 14.
Okay. You do get the sense that there are elements here that would definitely be of interest to the order. One of the spells kind of in particular kind of rings with you as you're kind of looking through it, and it's got some unusual language in its kind of write-ups and runes, and if you'd like to look into that one further, you can, but that would require another roll, as it's...
I would love to look into that one.
Okay.
Investigation again?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. 1923.
Okay. This is a spell scroll, and instead of runes, you almost see your eyes kind of go back into your head, and the image is almost reflexive. It feels like it's of you. It's almost circuit-like. This is a spell scroll of Haywire.
Ooh. Okay. Oh man, where'd the pencil go? There it is. Okay. And when he was showing me this, he did not like mark it as like spell scrolls. He marked it as like different scraps of paper, correct?
I mean, he doesn't have much use for it. It's something that he's collected and has kind of logged as weird stuff. And so it's more of, I have this if I need it.
Gotcha.
There doesn't seem to be any sort of immediate threat or anything that would cause him to have it kind of more in the front of the store, or anything that has happened in town recently that would cause him to want to.
Excuse me, sir. This is the exact same rune that I found before. I asked where this was found in the mountains, or do you know?
I don't. I got this one here. Was able to get it off a trader who didn't know what he had, and quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure of its full capabilities. I'll have to call him in from another day, but our apprentice, Corkin, he was identifying some of the elements of sleep kind of mixed in there, along with bits of blight, as well as, well, I mean, these runes here, he said, were unlike any he'd ever seen, so Probably a healthy dose of weird.
Understood. Is this magical or not? I am unversed in the magical ways, so I'm very curious.
I mean, everything we have in this shop here is magical to an extent. A healing potion will put you back on your feet. This here scroll will get you somewhere.
How much would this scroll be exactly? Even if it doesn't do anything, I'm curious as it may be the only hint to my clan.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion, not deception.
Your choice.
Okay, because to anyone who knows that this is very much a lie.
I mean, so then you'd probably get your forked tongue with.
Yeah. That is 30.
30, you said?
Yes, 30.
Yeah. You know what? I'd be willing to part with this here for low price of 10 gold.
I'm so sorry, sir. All I have on me right now is barely 2 gold to rub together.
And I bring out my 2 gold and 8 silver.
Is it possible if this is enough? If it is not, I am more than happy to assist you in any work you have here. As I said, this is my only way of connecting how my clan all died.
I think we can make something work. Yeah. What kind of skills do you offer?
In my clan, I was a fairly decent hunter. I also was a fairly decent smither. I can make small tools, objects, swords, if you need them. I'm also fairly well versed in reading and writing and perhaps languages if you need them deciphered.
I can do so. We could definitely use some languages. My apprentice isn't in today, and he said he was going out to on a little bit of an expedition, so we might not see him for the rest of. Could even be a month, full moon. But I do have some of these over here, and he kind of hands you basically a small ream of paper, just to kind of go through and start identifying, or at least reading components into and trying to piece together what some of these papers are. Some of them seem to have arcane sigils on them, some of them seem to be scrolls, some of them seem to be just documentation of who knows what at this point.
Thank you very much, sir. I will get to work on these right away if you would allow it.
You get through those papers there, and the scroll's yours.
Thank you so much.
And I will start going through them.
Okay. So just curious, what ability are you using to kind of get through all of this?
I'm just going to take my knowledge of like patterns and like how I basically see real language and like deciphering with actor, to try my best to decode these with my own skill.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me, please. With advantage,
Gotcha.
since you're not really working on a timeline right now.
Okay. Well, I got the same roll both times. 16 plus, and you said Arcana?
Yep.
That is 18.
Okay, so that's going to decrease the die for a number of hours taken.
Gotcha.
You're able to get through the entire stack in roughly 6 hours. So you kind of end up spending a bit of the midnight oil, and the night drags on. into the wee hours of morning, but you do eventually reach the final paperwork. I can get you documentation out of session as to kind of all the things that you kind of read and kind of peeked into and saw from.
Okay.
But yeah, you're...
Anything is like real eye-opening, I might try nicking it.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a general sleight of hand check for the whole of everything with advantage, since he's not going to pay super close attention to you because he does still have a business to run and things to work through. And
Gotcha. So in that case, there is going to be something that I will deem worth taking.
yes,
Okay. In that
I'll separate
case,
those documents from the others.
is 19 sleight of hand.
You're able to kind of get a couple papers out of the pile. As the night grows late, he kind of packs up a little bit, and there's a couple candles that flicker around in the shop that he kind of begins snuffing, and you see that he kind of has a place built into the back where there's... I think the closest word to it would probably be couch that he sleeps on, and kind of rests for the night. You kind of keep a candle and just continue working, just kind of manning the post, even though the shop is closed. And go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
A natural 20 plus... Oh, -1. So 19, but natural 20.
That's still really good. Around the 3 a.m. mark, just for comparative purposes, you're kind of finishing up. You've got maybe 5-10 documents left in the pile, and you see kind of movement darting around outside. It's dark out, and so it's kind of hard to see, but you have your candlelight. It's reflecting in the window, and there's definitely people outside moving in all sorts of directions. A couple moving forward, a couple moving kind of across the way. At one point you swear you see someone looking in at you, but then as soon as you kind of refocus your ocular sensors, they don't seem to be there.
Hellsight.
What? Oh, Hellsight.
Hellsight.
Hellsight is, you can see invisible creatures, right?
Anything magically hidden.
It is not. They are not magically hidden.
Okay. I'm looking around at like what the ruckus is about as well while this is activated.
You see roughly 5 to 6 individuals over the course of the next hour or so, and then it all kind of seems to die down, and the rest of the night passes uneventfully.
Okay. I'm going to put a paperweight, or blow out the candle, put the candle on top of the stack of papers, finish with my notes on one side, also beside a little thing like, I finished these, thank you so much for your generosity. Put that right there, and I will head out and see what's going on.
Do you take the scroll that he well, no, you would have given it to you, so yeah, you have a scroll of haywire.
Okie doke.
Which, just for reference, if you want to know what the spell does, it is part of the Modern Magic Unearthed Arcana.
Gotcha. I'll check that out.
I can actually put a quick bit of it in the chat. So one sec.
Alright, ooh, level 3.
Yep. And from there, morning comes. Do you stay in to kind of rest, or how do you want to go about Do you?
As
just
soon
take
as I
it from the top?
finished, as soon as I finished the documentation, I'm going to like look outside, see if like anything else is going on. If it is like super still like wreck is out, I will explore. If it's silent now, I will find sort of a back alley to sort of shut down.
Okay. It was only busy for roughly 15, 20 minutes at the most. And so you kind of head out the door. You kind of hear the little bell ding as you leave. You kind of test the handle once you're out. It's locked. And there doesn't seem to be anything right now in the square or any. You don't see kind of the walkway is covered in a little bit of fresh snow. No footprints or anything in it. And there's a small alleyway nearby the alchemist's shop where you can power down in then.
Okay, I will do so, keeping my ocular sensors on while focused on the outside of the alley.
Okay. And so 6 hours pass. So it's noon then when you come to. And I think we'll switch up from there to.
Okie doke.
Let's go with over to Silarian. General. Seth?
To reach my phone.
Oh, it's okay. It takes.
I'm here.
Okay, it takes a couple days hiking from the cabin that you left in the woods, but you do eventually come upon a large city. And city is the right word. There are large buildings made of, looks like concretes and actual like sturdy building materials, wooden thatched roofs that kind of slant and are curved on different edges. Large, just actual structures, which, granted, you've seen this all before, but it's kind of in a different style. It's very fitting for a port town. The waves kind of crash off the coast, and you kind of smell the salty air, and snow is coming down, but not harsh by any means, just gentle. You hear, just in the distance, horns kind of honking from the harbor, and you are on the south side of Silarian. Let me go ahead and throw some maps in the chat, since
That would be helpful.
where is the right folder? I don't know.
Have I had any time to heal from that catastrophic interdimensional burn?
Yes.
And how will I determine how much health I get?
You'll have gotten a long rest in the time since, and so you are back to full.
Okay, thank you.
But also, catastrophic interdimensional burn should definitely be like a band name.
Yes.
So as those maps are uploading, just generally, what do you plan to do once you reach town?
I want to get to any source of information and look for details about where I can find an antimatter rifle.
Okay. So
How do I go about doing that?
that's what I was just gonna ask you. So you want to look for information. So there might be.
So can I?
Oh, go ahead.
So I need to go into town and ask where I can find that kind of information.
Okay, so
Crap,
yeah.
you're breaking up. Hang on.
Am I clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So you wanted to head into town to kind of seek out information on this weapon.
Yes,
So,
please.
okay. Who do you think would have the best understanding of where to find that? Just
I
generally
think
from your
a
experience.
tavern would be a good place to start. I would go to a bar or a tavern and ask around to see if they knew where the local like library or town center information place is.
Okay. It takes you a little bit of time, but kind of discussing with everyone, you find that there are 3 main taverns in Silarian. The Blind Eye, the Opulent Claw, and the Iron Crest. I can go ahead and throw those names in chat as well, just for clarification and little bits of note keeping.
Thank you.
And of these, you kind of get different reads by the people who tell them, who are talking to you about them. The Blind Eye seems a little bit shadier. The Opulent Claw is a lot more kind of forthcoming, and it's definitely.
Do I know which
Oh, good.
popular? Can I ask that?
Which is more popular?
Hello?
Or, could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You completely cut out, so I wasn't sure if you heard me. The question was, can I ask people which one is the most popular of the 3, or has the most amount of people regularly?
The Opulent Claw and the Iron Crest are definitely the most populated with common folk. The Blind Eye is a bit more of an... It's a very well-known underground-esque location. And so it's... like, people know
I want to
it's
go
there.
to the Blind
Okay.
Eye. The second you said underground, I'm like, yeah, I need to go to the Blind Eye.
Okay. So you kind of make your way into town towards the heart of the town, towards the heart of Silarian, and the Blind Eye, as with you'd expect most underground locations, even if people are aware of it, it's not going to be well signed. And so you kind of spend a little bit of time going around the streets, talking to some of the more shady folk in town about trying to find where it might be, and eventually you are led to a small alleyway where off to the side there's kind of a draped roof that and a staircase that just leads down towards a single door into the side wall of a building. Everything seems to be made out of concrete except for the door, which has a little bit of a metal sheen to it. And
Yeah.
as you enter, the area is lit with candles entirely. Along each wall, there are torch sconces that just hold massive candles, and small ones kind of lining up the bar, and there are skulls. Like, the bar itself is actually made of bones, and each of the skulls that kind of
Ooh, sounds fancy.
point upward with kind of the jaws hung open as areas where you can put a drink as almost a cup holder. The eyes, several of them have kind of candles melting up from it, and there are different skulls all over. There are some that are much more humanoid and kind of in a straight line, but there are also ones that have horns, like either from a minotaur or a tiefling. The tables themselves are all finely crafted wood with metal ridges on the edge that kind of depict that are. It's a very filigree almost, but it's black metal that's kind of been charred and dusted by lots of use and perhaps slightly improper cleaning. The floor itself is cold, hard concrete, and the upper rafters are wooden, kind of across the top. They have just kind of scattered around the area there are almost bookcases, but instead of books, there's just like different bottles and flasks and very gothic set pieces, skulls and bones and just different, almost I'd say artifacts, but on closer inspection, they seem to be forgeries or sculptures of different pieces and strange happenings. And there are several individuals behind the bar, kind of dressed in almost like a waiterly attire, and dozens of patrons kind of all scattered throughout the rest of the establishment, just in the underground, who are enjoying their drinks. A couple of them are playing cards or dice games, and there's actually a pool table in the back, although they wouldn't call it pool, but that's the best way to translate the idea. And you see a half-orc, a tiefling, and a gnome kind of all shooting balls on it occasionally.
Do I do something now?
You tell me. What would you like to do?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. That's why I'm asking.
I am done with seats.
I would like to go up to the bar. I'd like to go up to the bartender and ask him about places where I can find information about powerful rifles and weapons.
I take it you're armed going in, right? I mean, this is
yes.
Yeah. Everyone else here is pretty much as well. Just had to be sure.
I mean, I didn't drop my pistol, did I?
No. You've got all of your weapons. I just wanted to know if you are you keeping them concealed in any way, or?
I mean, I only have the one pistol at the moment, right?
No, you'd have two, since, well, yeah, we had ruled that you could. Well, you can't dual wield in 5e mechanical sense of terms, but for the sake of it, you can dual wield because it looks cooler.
See, in my mind, the way I thought it would be is like just for every level up I got where I got an extra shot per turn, that just counted as an extra pistol.
Okay. Well, you'd have.
I mean, I can do it your way too.
You can start with 2 at least then.
That sounds fine to me then. So yes, I would like to conceal them.
Okay. And you kind of approach the bar, and for as odd a surface as it is, you kind of quickly see that there is a glass layer on top of it where it would be much more reasonable to place glasses and drinks and mugs, so that the ridges of bones wouldn't cause it to spill over and anything. The individual who kind of turns to you is a lighter gray, almost purplish tiefling. Kind of long horns that kind of curl around towards the front, with gold bands around the edge of it that kind of taper off into a very sharp point. And they kind of come over to you and, so what you drinking then? With your searches for information, I hear.
I'm drinking the cup of knowledge, young sir. I'd like to find some pretty damn awesome weapons. And I'm willing to pay to get the information I want.
Oh. Sounds delightful. Now, just to be sure, you don't mean the actual drink that we serve here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can always check with the weaponsmiths and They always seem to have a little bit of something, different blades and knives, and occasionally a
Looking
couple
for
projectiles.
guns.
Oh. Well,
Bigger the better.
shipments are a bit rare, but black powder usually makes its way towards the weaponsmiths. You can also probably find it by the blacksmiths hoarding for some of their forging and smithing.
I've heard tales, though, of a gun that doesn't use black powder.
Really?
Something magical, almost. Something. They call it scientific, not magic, but it's all magic to me.
They kind of chuckle at this. So you're one of
Might have
those
heard of it.
folk, ones who come up here chasing the dreams.
Chasing the dream? What do you mean by that?
Hoping to strike it rich on the mountains and
I
see
don't know if
what...
I'm trying to strike it rich. I just want some power.
Well, power can be anywhere. But this weapon you're searching for, you say it's more scientific. That sounds like something that would be definitely northernward. You might find, well, if you head directly northernward, you'll probably reach the south of the Alwina in 2 days if you're slow. You'll probably be able to, if you're searching for where everyone's going, this, or at least, where the news is reporting it, this Voskorad, there is, it might take you a week. But if you poke around, you might find something. I don't know. We've had several folk go up there, several come back, several go missing, and I've never seen what you describe. Kind of pulls another barkeep over, kind of whispers a bit to him, and they shake their head and kind of go back towards business.
Can I, is there a way for me to do, a reception check to see if they're just trying to get rid of me or if they're being honest?
That would be insight.
Oh, can I use insight then?
Absolutely.
And I roll a d20.
Yep, D20 plus your insight.
Let me see what my insight is. Oh, my insight's 0, so let me look what the d20 says. Roll d20. What does it say? I rolled a 14.
Okay, that's good. You get the sense that they're not 100% certain of the weapon you're talking about. They've never seen schematics or documentation of it or encountered it personally. It's skeptical, but at the same time, if there is such a thing, it definitely sparks their interest. And
Like they've heard of it, maybe?
no, they haven't heard of it, but they're definitely curious now, and perhaps have their own ideas of what one could do with such weaponry.
So then I'm gonna take his advice. And where did he say I should go to look for this weapon? That was it was 2 days away. You said
2 days to the south of the Alwina range, but up to a week towards the actual peak, where.
so. Yeah, I want to go over there and take a look through the weapons and armor science guys, people.
Okay. My brain is blanking on the actual name of the peak, so 1 second. Because I know I said it, and I've actually written it down a couple of times, but Arakel. The Arakel Mountain of the Alwina range. It's the highest
I would like to go
peak.
there.
Okay. You can definitely begin that trek. It's probably going to be easier to take the northern route toward Koritos, and then kind of diverge halfway there, so that way you can kind of cross as few treks as possible.
Sounds good.
And upon getting this information, you kind of smell cigar smoke from other places in the room as a couple people have kind of moved closer, and they're also kind of now moving towards the bar, kind of sitting down and seemingly just ordering drinks and kind of talking to the barkeep you had previously been chatting with, just casually.
Does this bar sell cigars? Because I would like to buy one for my character.
Yeah, you can get a couple. They're just going to be 5 copper apiece.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. How many do you pick up?
Just like 2 cigars.
Okay, so that's 1 silver.
One for now and one for later. How much money do I start with?
I believe you had urchin background. I believe that started with a pouch of 10 gold, so you'd have 9 gold and 9 silver left. If not,
Okay,
I'm
thank
willing
you.
to rule it as that.
No, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure I'm not like breaking any rules.
No, that sounds about right.
Okay.
And from
I'd like
there,
to smoke one of them now and save the other for later.
sounds
Look like a badass as I leave.
okay. And from there, we will cut to Gale.
That's me.
Yes.
Oh,
Your
shit.
ship begins kind of cresting in towards Silarian. It's a cold and wintry day. The snow's kind of coming down, but it's very thin and light. As you're approaching, you can see the town from your higher vantage point. The buildings themselves are stone and some concrete and kind of constructed as that, but the roofs are actually all older ships and vessels, boats that have kind of been converted towards upside down and kind of rebuilt. So rainwater will kind of just pour down the sides, and it's a true fishing village in every sense of the word. There's lots of small shacks and such built on the sides, long harbors, and kind of establishments with kind of large signs and signposts that have many nautical terms for shipping and sailing, for registering documentation, for procuring licenses, and all sorts of bureaucratic and diplomatic kind of relations for travelers just passing through. There's kind of several inns along the shore as well, going in a little bit, and you can see a couple taverns nearby. But what would you like to do?
Well, finish whatever I was doing on the ship. Get off. Thank the captain for the ride. Do I need to pay him for the ride, or
He'll take 5 gold
like
for the ride, but
much?
since you were helping out and kind of helping to unload, usually it would be a lot more, but you'd kind of indentured yourself in, or at least put yourself in his favor, so he'd be willing to negotiate.
negotiate? Like how much?
Initially, he's asking down to 5.
That works for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So what would
Gold.
you? Yep. So you are now in the city. What would you like to do?
Well, as I have no idea where I am or anything, I'm gonna find someone local and ask for where like someone who knows about books would be.
Okay. There are several different kind of archivist stations throughout here. They're mostly low-level wizards, a couple of monks as well, and there are a couple churches in the area if you have religious texts that might need interpreting. Um, would any of these work for you?
Yeah, I'll go to one of the ones that's like a monk monastery,
Okay.
whatever.
You
Just walk in.
you can, yeah. They are open for business, I guess, for lack of better terminology.
It's like a library, or is it like a bookstore or something like that?
It's a little bit of both. You can see that there is some scholastic practices being done here, but sales are not uncommon.
I didn't hear that last part. Could you repeat that? Nope.
1 second, sorry. Uh, sorry, I got called away for a brief second. There, there seems to be a lot of scholastic practices that are done here, but at the same time, they're not opposed to selling things either. And so there's probably small
Alright.
shops, and you could purchase a book if you need it for either extended period or.
I wasn't looking for purchasing. I was just like, what kind of place is this? I'll go in, find a librarian or book learned dude or dudette. I am not judging.
That's,
Or dude of other gender. I don't really.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's okay. I know what you mean. Um, okay. You kind of head in and begin kind of browsing around until an individual in green robes kind of walks up next to you. I'm sorry, can I help you?
Hey, I'm looking for some information on a book. My own book. It's not something you got here, but it's a weird one.
Oh, that sounds most interesting. Can here? She kind of directs you over towards a table. I'm Archivist Kathy. Can I?
Okay, see, I'm Gail.
Nice to meet you. So what book are you coming in to look about?
It's
or
this
should
one. I
about?
plop it down.
Okay. Kind of hits the table and you almost see a little bit of dust kind of shake off of the cover from the setting it was in previously, and just kind of it's a soft felt cover, so it's
Yeah.
got some dust built into it. The two of you kind of sit down and she begins kind of thumbing through the pages.
See, I got to the point where like I know what it is. And I know it comes from up here, but I don't know where to go next.
She kind of flips through, sees a couple more pages, looks puzzled, kind of flips back. Where did you find this?
Found it off of a guy who found it off another guy in a non-particularly friendly way.
Okay,
I'm just trying to return it to its owner.
gotcha. Well, it appears its owner is dead.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
she points to a couple pages with some dates and names in it, and they're all over the place, as if this book had been passed through many generations.
Hmm. Well, that answers that question. But then again, you can read this, correct?
It's difficult, but I understand the basics of it.
Yeah, so it's like talking about some sort of like flying city or something rather, sort of mechanical city.
Hmm.
Where'd that be?
Where? I have no idea. Sorry.
Hmm.
Uh,
It seems to be more like informational rather than
hmm.
personal, right?
uh,
It seems like
yeah.
an instruction manual.
I mean, there's elements
Hmm.
of both. It's certainly not all one or the other. There's definitely some stories being told in here,
Yeah,
but
but then again, it's in Fey or whatever.
it's
Sylvan.
yeah, it seems more almost like a book of learning, a diary of sorts, kind of, but specifically tailored towards this city. Um, this name kind of pops up a lot, and she kind of flips towards one of the pages that has the illuminated image of the figure I've called the Conqueror, kind of holding up a fallen enemy who kind of seems wrinkled and just kind of crumpled and defeated. And she points towards a series of glyphs on there, and says it reads Orinsala, which I'll go ahead and throw in chat, even though just for clarification.
Is that a dude? Is that a place?
Sounds like a name.
I mean, a name of a place or a name of a dude? Kind of go both ways on that.
Yeah. I mean, the other kind of common phrases I pick out here are eremitom, which is, which I can only assume it translates to this. It's talking about the city because air has its prefix in the kind of folding and translocation of space, and so if you mentioned flying city, so that has to be it. I'll also throw that in chat. Just
It would be kind of cool. Flying City. This book is like, I don't know, it's connected there somewhere.
well,
Yeah.
is there anything else you know about this that might help piece the puzzle together some? Or I can definitely take this to some of our higher curators and archivists and expositors. They'd
Well, I've
definitely
had
be able
someone
to
read it
dig
for
into
me.
it.
It's just, don't really know what to do with it. Been on a bit of a life vacation for the past couple of whoever knows how long. Trying to figure out what to do next. In this book, maybe I could return it to its rightful owner. Had some Sylvan help. Of course, that was like, could be past, could be future, who knows what's going on. And I came up here and, well, no.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
I
What
understand.
should I do next?
Oh, it's not up for me to say. You're on your own life's journey, but eremitom.
Let's say it is up to you. What would you do? Free spirit, nothing's holding you back. Live by the seat of your pants. If the seat of your pants still survives to this day. And I'll look down. Yeah, I'll replace those. Anyway, what would you do?
Oh, if it were me, I'd head south, and I've always been interested in uncovering kind of political secrets and of Kaiterna and just kind of bringing the whole, just everything in the situation here to more of a forefront and into light, but that's not going to deal anything with your book.
Yeah, and I also have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. I've been in the woods for like a couple of years. There's political stuff. I haven't heard of it.
That's understandable. What woods?
Well,
Okay. You see her kind of looking around, kind of thinking and puzzling, and
yeah.
she kind of gestures to another person in similar attire, kind of passing by, meeting up with a couple other patrons of the reserve, and gestures over, and another archivist kind of comes over, and you kind of seem to go about a similar rigmarole with them, kind of peering through, and kind of she's asking for other interpretations, more help. This is Archivist Hava. And I mean, they kind of reach a similar conclusion. But Hava kind of mentions a lot of, talks about goings on in Heimgardan and such, that there's been a lot of, it's been coined in a lot in the news, but there's settlements known as Voskarad, where lots of weapons and artifacts have been kind of flowing out of a peak in the mountains up to the north, and from that direction they've seen lots of manuscripts that don't align with any congruent history, and just things that she thinks it's mostly fairy tales and just kind of hoaxes that are being played on the general public. And based on the kind of natures that are in this book, it's elaborate and consistent. Those being her main operative words. And she's uncertain as to what this all might entail, but this book seems to at least track with some of the other stuff she's heard about and read coming from there. But once again, it's idyllic fantasy land.
I mean, it's a direction, I guess.
It is. It's a rather dangerous one. Quiet roads to walk
Everything's
alone.
dangerous if you think about it.
That it can be. I mean, we can always use more archivists if you're looking to settle down and take a rest. Be willing to
Yeah. I mean, I had an offer, but don't really settle too well. That itch to just move and go.
Wanderlust.
Change of scenery and all.
I see. It's free spirit. Can never chain him down. Trust me, some of us have certainly tried.
Well, got a direction, I guess. Not much to go on. The fairy tales.
Hey.
I know.
The best fairy tales and the best stories are the ones that bear fruit. Maybe this one will. Maybe I'm just an old cynic.
Everything bears fruit. Just depends on whether you like the taste of it.
They both kind of chuckle.
Hmm. Well, thank you very much for your help. Not sure what to do next. Probably chill out a bit. I need to buy some cold weather clothes. You know where I can get some cold weather clothes? That'd be helpful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they kind of give you elaborate instructions kind of to a place just down the street. Overly complicated.
I thank them, leave, and immediately get lost.
Okay.
Did they say right, left?
I
I'm gonna go straight.
they basically say in like 300 words what they could have said in like 25. But yeah, it's basically go straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way, maybe.
Mhm.
I don't really know.
After a while, you kind of stumble your way around and find a small shop, wooden actually, kind of built out of, that does sell some furs and fur-lined garments. You'd be able to kind of.
Hey, Keep, what's going on?
Oh, you see him kind of waking up a little bit drowsy, as if he'd kind of been taking a nap at the post. I'm sorry. What can I? What can I get for you today? Sorry.
As you can see, I am very cold. It's cold outside,
Yeah, that.
and I
That
ain't got no
probably tracks.
sleeves. You got like a jacket, like some fur boots,
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
some wraps or something. I don't know.
And he kind of begins to pull different hangers that have garb on them, kind of some vests, some boots, some shoes, a couple fur-lined sandals. Doesn't really recommend them, but they're more for if you're heading south, since it's a lot more permafrosty and dry. But yeah, they'll
Yeah.
work. There are uh, some boots that have kind of spikes built into the soles that would be better for climbing. Some coats that
Yeah.
have.
Get some like anti-slip shoes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what kind of. Where are you traveling to?
Don't really know yet. Got like a direction heading northward to all those like fairy tales and such.
Oh, yeah, I know the
No,
place.
just gotta get there first.
Well, that's gonna be a
Get
bit of a
your
long.
hands on anything if you can't get there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a long trek northernward. Yeah, these here definitely kind of pats the boots that have the spikes built into them. Um, and then he kind of goes around towards the cloaks, and this one, well, and just the two of you kind of go at it for a bit, and eventually you come upon like a decent kind of coats and boots, and the whole shebang will cost you 4 gold.
4 gold.
But then you'll
Yeah,
kind of be
right.
fully kitted out for winter weather,
All the winter weather.
except for the weird magical winter weather. But that's weird magical winter weather.
You can't really do anything for that.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, shopkeep. I'm head on out.
Okay. Take
Yeah.
care of yourself. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll see you again when you pass through here.
Maybe. Oh, one more thing. You got like some like snow goggles?
Snow goggles. I'm sorry. Actually, well, wait. Kind of goes back, and you hear a lot of rumbling around. Oh no. Can hear a couple things crash around in the back as he's moving, and a couple things slip. Your kind of papers dash across the floor. A little bit more. No. Crashing around with the chest. And. You might be able to find a couple pairs over at the Moontail, but that's... Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have any here.
That's alright. How do I get there?
Oh, it's just...
How do I get there in 30 words or less? Last people gave me like 300 word description. I got lost.
Just down by the beach, a little bit to the northern side, and you'll be able to... you'll be able to find your way when you start smelling the good food.
Ooh, follow your nose. Alright. Thank you much. Goodbye.
Okay.
I'll walk out. I'll try to find the place.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation check with advantage.
Investigation. My investigation is fantastic. That is a -1. Oh, it is a 3. There you go.
3. Okay,
A modifier is -1.
gotcha.
3.
From here, we're going to cut back to Coritas with 13 and... Well, yeah. It is noon, and you kind of begin to power on. You're in the more upper, larger area of Coritas, and just generally, there already seems to be a bit of a bad vibe, a energy and nervousness kind of through the town. You also begin to hear kind of horses clopping and trotting up as you find yourself kind of parked next to a stable area known as the Crown, and several carriages kind of begin to move in, and number of individuals kind of begin unpacking and getting out, and there are several but on the other side of the alleyway you kind of see a couple people apprehensively moving towards the center of the square. Which direction do you go? Jacob. 13?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat that? I was in the middle of a drink of water and I heard my name like, oh, what happened?
Okay, as you're kind of rebooting around noonish in Coritas, you're kind of in between two locations next to this alchemist's shop. One being a stable center and kind of transportation information area known as the Crown, and then kind of on the other side is a main thoroughfare towards the actual center and heart of the town. On one side you see several carriages kind of beginning to unload, and on the other a couple kind of questioning individuals moving towards the center of town. It's kind of hard to get a read on them, but there is a general uncertainty and mysterious atmosphere in the air.
I am going to get out of the alley and go towards the mystery in the air people, going towards center town.
Okay. And you kind of begin to make your way that way, and kind of get towards the center, and you kind of turn around, and it's hard to explain, but there seems to be as everything kind of in the center of this part of the town was centered around one of the wells. You see 4 buckets that kind of would go down and be able to draw water for people to then transfer into their own buckets and kind of bring back to their houses for their any needs that would involve water, I suppose. But kind of you see...
What is this water you speak of?
You see the kind of roof area for it shattered, and from the water, from the well, kind of spikes of ice growing outward, or having had grown outward, and just general confusion and mayhem. And from there, we're actually going to cut to Tanner, as you are disembarking from your carriage at the Crown in Coritas. Your carriage kind of arrives in. It's midday. I seem to have made excellent time in getting to the city.
Wunderbar.
It takes a bit of time to kind of pack up all of your stuff and kind of get it out. And by that time, the Firbolg who was in your cart has already gone up, as well as both of the humans. So you are the last in your cart, and they've kind of dispersed and headed their own separate ways.
Okay. I'll hop out of the cart, get all my stuff with me.
Okay, make a quick perception check.
Okay. Here it is. My dice. Mm. 13.
Okay. As you are kind of disembarking and kind of readying all of your stuff, there's a small thing in the cart that kind of catches your attention. A kind of glistening in the light, a small piece or not even piece, but the slight shimmer of violet. There seems to be a small nail in the bench, and this is kind of wedged in there in between a couple of the planks.
Interesting, and it doesn't look like it belongs there?
Nope. This is a purely wood nails and spit cart.
Who was sitting nearest to that nail?
You had talked with Anais, who had played you with Dragon Chess, and the other human woman who was there was probably right around that area.
So they were there.
They were there. And they are gone.
When you say nail, you mean like nail and hammer nail?
Yep.
Okay. Hmm.
Seems like it kind of come up a little bit and snagged.
Could I infer in any way what that might have originated from? I want to pick it up and kind of inspect it in my hands.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
That is a 12.
Okay. It's kind of hard to say what it would have come from, but the texture itself is incredibly smooth and kind of reflective. If it's not silk, it's very silk-like.
So a nail composed of something that feels like silk.
Oh no, the nail is just a nail. The actual fabric that was there. Sorry.
Oh, it's fabric?
Yeah.
Ah, a piece of fabric on the nail. Judging off the color and what I remember of what the people were wearing, could I figure out which one of them it was that it came from? Or was that what I just tried to roll for?
When they were in the cart with you, they kind of seemed to be wearing more kind of dulled colors. There might have been something underneath, but it's kind of it would be harder to posit. You're welcome to try and remember, but that would be a history check with disadvantage.
I'll try it for the heck of it.
Why not?
Yeah, I got a 5.
It could have come from either of them, if it even came from them at all.
Okay. Um, uh, the little bit of it, do any like patterns stand out on it?
Nope, it is solid violet.
Okay. I'll just pocket it for the heck of it,
Okay.
and I will fully disembark the wagon.
Okay. The city is yours. You can go your ways. You would have to pay your service, so that would be 15 gold for the entire journey. But then the city is yours.
Okay. Could I attempt a persuasion check to try and lower the gold cost?
Sure.
After all, I played some music to ease the journey for everyone.
Sure. Go ahead. Persuasion or performance, your choice, since music was your persuasion.
Ooh. Well, they both have a modifier of 9, so
Nice.
I'll do a fun mix of both. Roll the 14. Plus 9 is 23.
Yeah. You're able to kind of talk him back about. You're able to get a day off, and so you can get it down to 10.
10 with the 24. I'll take it.
Okay. And the town is now yours. You see several others kind
Hoorah.
of from the other carts disembarking and kind of paying their tolls. Kind of the larger party from the cheapest cart kind of getting out, and it's almost like a clown car where you see several individuals just kind of getting out of one very small place. Then the other one, you see the doors kind of open up and a couple individuals walk out. A couple of armed guards stay inside. And then that carriage goes back, and you see the horses kind of go towards the stables and kind of out of view.
Is there any thing that I can see that's like a guide building or some sort of navigational aid to direct people in the city?
You can get some directions from the other cart drivers and cart directors. Oh, nice, Aaron. And so they're able to kind of gesture towards center of town's gonna be kind of down this alleyway here, and then a bit to your left, and there's kind of a large well, and you can see lots of shop fronts in that general direction, and the like.
Okay. I'm going to head in that direction towards the shops, keeping my eye out for kind of the biggest, most populated tavern, or at least some sort of social gathering spot.
Okay. As you kind of make your way there, you kind of turn towards the left, and it's the same scene that I had described to Jacob. Large well area, but the roof area has been almost exploded outward, and large spikes of ice from within protruding up into the air, and there seem to be dozens of people, a couple tieflings, couple elves, a couple half orc style, several dwarves, a couple gnomes, and a humanoid kind of with a darker cloak on, all kind of moving towards the same area, just looking to try and figure out what it is. There's bits of movement up on the top of the ice sculpture, for lack of better terminology, as they're kind of seeming to be cutting off bits of spikes and kind of trying to use fire bolts and control flames to melt it down and get rid of any dangers that might be posed with it in a somewhat safe manner. And with this, Jacob, you are also back on the call.
Hello.
I want to find some sort of official, like, not just a traveler person, but like someone who's working in this area.
I am also looking for the same thing.
Okay. There are a couple of guard-like people, kind of patrolling around the base. They've got pieces of rope kind of tied around cones and, well, not cones, but like movable stanchions that are kind of trying to keep people back, and they're just kind of talking with the people who are up front, and generally uncertain about what's going on, but trying to maintain a sense of keeping calm. So you could definitely talk to some of these individuals.
I will walk up to just the one closest and ask, "Hello, may I ask what has happened here?"
Well, we're still trying to figure that out for ourselves, but it seems that this spike of ice was conjured here through some arcane means, and we mean to get to the bottom of it before anyone who had it in their mind to do this to our city tries anything again.
Is this a common occurrence?
No, absolutely not.
Insight check.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
$17.
Okay, he's being cagey for sure, but there is genuine honesty in the words that this is not a common occurrence.
Okay. Very well. Is there any news on if anyone has gotten trapped inside?
With this, you kind of see his face instantly kind of focus in on you more. We're gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to come over here with me.
For what reason? I am asking a question. Did I step out of line?
Not yet. And you kind
Very
of
well,
get pulled
I
aside
shall.
away from everyone else. And the guard kind of draws. You see him kind of put his hand on the top of his sword, and so you're familiar with this then, because we haven't released that information, any sorts of information to the public about individuals who are here.
I was just making an assumption based on a random block of ice being transported into the middle of this building. I thought it was only sure to assume that one or more individuals could have been trapped.
And you see him kind of settle down for a little bit, because he kind of steps back, like, okay, you're right. Yeah, there was someone. It was less trapped inside, but more skewered on top. I mean, we're going to be investigating all of this. See what comes of it, but you can't go around having people know about that. Generally.
Very well.
Tanner, what were you
Could I
saying?
say that Could I say that I've rolled stealth to like try and hear all of this from a distance?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll stealth.
That is a 15.
Okay. You're able to get reasonably close and kind of make out the general gist of what's being said. There was someone who is definitely impacted, and it's not usual. You get the sense that this individual that they've brought aside is being questioned for collusion, collaboration, and or any sort of involvement.
Okay.
Do I notice him, or is it just my passive perception since I wasn't actively looking?
What is your passive perception?
It's just 7. It's nothing to write home about.
You're kind of much more focused on what's going on immediately in front with you than anyone else who might be watching or paying attention or listening. And you see them kind of begin kind of melting a different area and of the ice, and it kind of starts the water. It's in a semi-frozen form still, even though the fire is kind of melting it away, but it's just kind of plopping down onto the ground, and a piece of it kind of shatters, and there is paper inside of it, kind of sealed away with, or at least a small like waxy kind of, it looks like paper.
Gotcha.
Scatters onto the ground. And
Does it look like a spell scroll?
Don't seem to notice it at first. They're busy with the people, and one of them is with you right now. It does not look like a spell scroll.
Excuse me. I see that a piece of paper has fallen off of the building right there.
The guard kind of turns around, looking at you almost even more suspiciously now, but goes over and kind of picks it up, kind of pulls the seal off, and it is a very shiny piece of paper, like it had been coated with wax in preparation and kind of thrown into the mix as these spikes were coming out, and it just kind of got lost in the middle of the ice. And he kind of opens it, reads the note, and roll an insight check, both of you.
Wasn't too great.
Oh! 19 plus 4, 23.
Yeah. 6.
Lepticus, you see a wave of confusion and frustration and maybe even a little bit of horror wash across the face.
The face of the guard.
The guard, yes.
Alright. Well, I'm still observing silently from a distance.
Mm-hmm. They kind of quickly refold the note and pocket it, and you see them kind of move over towards another one of the guards who breaks formation from kind of just talking with him in more ways than one, distracting the other kind of commoners who are kind of coming around and looking and trying to see and get involved in the investigation of what happened here.
Can I take a look around to see if anyone is looking suspicious within, like, the crowd or anything?
Sure.
And that's perception?
Yep. Perception.
I
or
rolled a
investigation.
17.
Okay, that is good. There are... It's kind of hard to pick out now that it almost seems like you've been selected as suspicious yourself, but others that kind of start ringing the same bells. There's a humanoid, They just kind of it's hard to quantify, but your mind looks at them. No, that's irrational. There's something that just kind of looks shifty in their eyes, but that's irrational. You have no basis. There's no evidence. You cannot make that assertion per your programming, per your mission. Error. You kind of shake your head and throw that off to the side and look around, and you see another individual who seems to be watching you. A kind of smaller rabbit folk-esque individual with lots of bags around them. Looking around and kind of paying attention to everything that's going on.
I will walk up to the guard that was just talking to me, and making sure to be a bit more quiet so that the suspicious individual that isn't in error doesn't hear me.
Excuse me, guard. I have seemed to have spotted someone who is looking on this situation suspiciously. They do not look to be from around here, as their fur indicates they are a warm climate rabbit.
Would I immediately hear this?
Yeah, you would hear this since you've been paying attention.
Huh. I'm gonna pretend like I hear something off in the distance, and I'm going to get my stuff and start walking in a random direction.
Okay.
They are going that way.
And the guard kind of looks at you. It's not suspicious to be from not around here. I mean...
Yes, but they were listening to our conversation intently, and as soon as I mentioned them, they walked away.
You see this kind of register.
Just them being a suspicious person. About 73%.
You kind of see this look kind of going around his face as he's understanding and listening to what you have to say. I'm gonna need you to come down to our offices, pal.
Very well.
And you kind of see him look over towards the other guards and kind of point down towards where the rabbit folk is now wandering off. And they kind of bring you back around, and there's the guard you've been talking to kind of signals to a couple of the others to kind of keep doing what they're doing, but spread out a little bit more, and they bring you to several blocks down another building and kind of sit you down inside.
I will say along the trip I will plainly have my hands like in the open.
Guard, I currently have a great sword and a dagger on my persons. If you would like, I am more than willing to turn them into you.
He will take them.
I will ask that in the regards, if I get let go, I would like them back, please.
We'll see what we can do. Gonna need to ask you a few questions down at the station.
Well,
At the outpost.
we'll follow your lead, sir.
Okay, and they will bring you to their guard outpost. And not maybe... Tanner, you see one of the other guards kind of start to follow you from the scene.
Okay.
What's he doing?
Let's see. I want to go back towards... Well, I guess I was already here. I want to start looking around for a tavern.
Tavern. Okay.
So I'm just going to start doing that. If I notice the guard, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him.
There are a couple taverns in this space. The one closest to you right now is known as the White Weasel.
Ooh.
The guard begins coming up to you and, sir, we're gonna need to ask you some questions down at our outpost. And
Huh?
don't worry,
Well, what's going
if everything
on?
seems to be all right, we're gonna have to. We'll release you shortly. Just have some
Well,
questions.
hold on. Why are you bringing me in? What's going on?
Just regarding the incident down at the town square.
Incident? What incident?
Don't play coy. I know we saw you there.
Oh, the ice? The big
Yeah,
ice thing?
The ice. Of course, the ice thing. What else would this be about?
I just got here. I just got off the wagon. What could you possibly want to talk to me about?
We just have some curiosities. Just a couple quick questions that we'd like you to answer.
Alright, fine. If they're quick. Alright, I will go with them.
Okay, and he will also bring you down towards the guard's outpost. And from there, let's cut back to Silarian.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
You guys just managed to look very suspicious.
I'm gonna die.
I didn't do nothing.
That is correct, but suspicion.
I have
hard.
big ears. I can't help it.
Okay. Gale and General. Your choice as to...
I am wandering around entirely aimlessly, having no idea where I am.
Okay. You're trying.
What am I doing at this
point? Where would you like to go, given the information you've received?
I would like to go straight to the like weapon maker, like the science weapon maker people first, magic or science.
Okay.
I'm not interested in the black powder stuff.
Gotcha.
Well, maybe I should investigate there because they might know.
Okay. So there are several weaponsmiths kind of in the general area, and
Yeah, I want to ask the people around who's the most who's the best of them, the best of the smiths.
a couple people kind of give you almost funny looks, but kind of gesture you down other parts of streets and kind of after a little bit it feels like they're kind of giving you the runaround, and they're not being very direct and upfront with with the information that they're giving you.
Then I guess I'll just start checking smiths at random.
Okay. As you're kind of making your way around, you see kind of several cloaked figures kind of moving along through the streets, lower to the ground, maybe 3-4 feet tall. And they don't really look at you, but you kind of hear their voice kind of directed up towards you. Spare any change? Spare any change? Any change? Please? Please? Please?
Who are you?
We're poor. We need help. Money.
Are they kids or?
You cannot see... Well, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay, because you said they were short. I didn't know if I could infer that they were children or what. That's the D20, right?
Yep.
Alright, so rolling 16 plus, what's my perception? My perception is 0, so 16.
Okay. So 16, you said?
Yes.
Okay. They do seem... The voices that seem to come from them do seem juvenile, in a way. And it sounds like it sounds like they're children, but you can't. They're strategically moving in such a way that you can't see under their cloaks.
So, okay, so they probably got a con game running.
Go ahead and roll me
Yeah.
another perception check.
Okay.
You see them kind of start
I
passing
rolled
you
a
by.
3.
3? Okay,
I rolled 3.
that's fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them a couple coins and move on.
Okay. And
Uh,
a couple of them kind
what's
of
the currency for them?
what?
Like, what? How much do I subtract from my bank account here?
However much you want.
Let's go ahead and give them 2 silver pieces. Why not?
Okay.
I was an urchin.
Mm-hmm. And you see them a couple of them start moving kind of quicker back away, and you kind of pass towards the other one, and oh, that's not good. Now you see kind of a small glint of metal, kind of as almost on their hand as they kind of collect the coin and disappear into the streets, kind of starting to run.
So they're armed. Hmm.
Go ahead and roll me another perception
Keep looking for the
check.
blacksmiths. Oh, yeah, sure. I rolled another 16.
Plus 0, you said?
Yes, plus 0.
Immediately thinking they're armed. Okay. One of your pistols is missing.
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm chasing those fuckers down and killing them all.
Okay. And okay. Go ahead and roll me, just for the fun of it, a d20 plus your athletics or acrobatics.
Alright. So I rolled a 12 plus my acrobatics is 5. You said acrobatics or what?
Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you're doing better in. For the sake of this, I'll just give you a heads up that this is a sort of a skill challenge, and this is determining your initiative order.
So 12 plus 5 is 17.
Okay, that's quite good.
Yeah, I have 0 athletics, but I have 5 acrobatics.
Okay, what was the number again, just for the record?
17.
Okay. You see the 4 of them kind of darting down different alleyways, and you begin to give chase. Kind of several individuals start kind of looking at you, and there's a little bit of blockage in your way that kind of prevents your movement. Several common folk, all kind of dressed heavily in winter garb. Aaron, as we switch to you, you start to see this chase begin to break out as 4 kind of smaller individuals in black cloaks are kind of scampering down the street, and you kind of see them turn a quick corner, and another individual kind of seems to be pushing through the crowd and following them.
I meet the, are they going down like an alleyway?
Yep.
I see where they're going, like the end of that alleyway.
You can kind of see where it would branch off from.
Guess I'll try to cut them off.
Okay.
Actually, what would, I even know what's going on here? Maybe. I don't know. Sure. I'll, cut them off.
Okay.
Kind of slightly casually, but like, you know, still quick enough.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm good at those.
Just for the sake
15.
of kind of this initiative. You said 15?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. And my pen is dying. No. That's
Uh-oh.
okay. Hang on a second. Okay. It'll just have to be green now. And so you kind of see them darting around. And so, just to kind of explain the rules of the skill challenge, every kind of round you're going to be making an ability check using one of your skills that is listed on your character sheet. And you can
Okay.
choose to use anything that you choose that you think will help you, whether if you can find a way to use your arcana to maybe try and like locate or feel around where maybe there might be magic shops, or kind of having been to different places in this city, or your perception to just straight up find them, survival to maybe follow tracks, any sort of that kind of thing. The more obscure and kind of hard the check would be to do with your skill, the higher the DC is going to be. But depending on how you go about this will determine how quickly you are able to catch them, or in what state you are able to catch them in. And so the better that you do overall will lead to them either escaping with your weapons or being caught by you guys. You need to gain a total of 6 skill successes before you reach 4 skill failures.
Can I use my blood sight to keep a lock on them?
Okay. 1 second.
How many first level spells do I get again?
Technically 0 as a fighter. But blood sight is using hit dice, so you'd be able to expend one of them in order to do this as an action.
How many hit dice do I get?
4 right now.
Okay. Then I'm just going to write that for my spell slots on this thing so I understand what I'm doing.
Gotcha. And if you need any clarification, I wrote the thing, so you know who to ask as well.
Yep.
So you kind of feel this kind of digging into you, and you kind of feel pulses from all around all of the other people in this area. Kind of feel a little almost gravitational or magnetic tug. But not from these 4.
What? Okay.
Aaron, it is your go.
Super interested. I'm gonna use survival to try and track, just to kind of tail, figure out which way they're going, try to cut them off, see if I can. What's going on?
Okay.
Makes sense.
You see them kind of quickly dart down an alleyway, and one of them they kind of splash in a puddle, and you can kind of track their footprints around the corner. Go ahead and make a perception check. Wait, no, you said survival, right? Or what check were you making?
Yeah.
What?
Survival.
Survival. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make that.
I get like for survival from a medallion, right?
Yep, you do get proficiency with that, or expertise if you already have proficiency.
I don't have any of those, so that's just 10.
Okay. Thankfully, given where you are, it was a relatively low DC for this, and so that is your first success. You're able to kind of track them and continue following along, and while the general is having a bit of trouble keeping up, you are a little bit more fast, having kind of practiced being unarmored and just moving in these more tightly garnered scenarios, and so you're kind of keeping pace with them. General, What would you like to do next?
I'd like to start shouting, "Give me back my damn gun," while taking a pot shot at one of them.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Actually, I think I'm good at those. Let me see. What is my intimidation bonus at the moment? Oh, I only have a +2 bonus. Damn. Okay. Roll. Where's my roll?
Well, that would be intimidation. You can choose to not do this as well, I guess. I should clarify as just parts of the rules of the skill challenge.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was checking to see what the bonus I had for it was. I rolled a 14, so +2 is 16.
Okay. That would be a second success. Okay, Aaron.
So what happens?
You kind of call after them and you kind of fire your other remaining pistol into the air, and the crowds kind of start to move back from around you as this loud bang erupts from within, and attention is drawn to you, but also to the people who are working to escape from you.
Good.
And I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Would I know what a gun is?
Probably not.
Yeah. Give back my. Oh my god. And then a very loud bang.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
Right. Hmm. I'd try to figure out where they're going based on their where how the city's laid out or what I've seen of it because I've been wandering around for a while. What would be like a good hideout for naughty small children to break away from eye contact or whatever?
Okay. The thing that first hits me for that would be something like an insight check, but your call.
Sure. It's a 5.
Plus.
Still, no, a total.
Oh.
It was a 3 plus 2.
You kind of consider and thinking about, and you've been wandering these streets for a
I
while,
have
but
no idea what cities are like.
it's you're in an unknown environment and like on a different continent. This is very strange to you, and you really haven't been paying that much attention to all the sights and smells and the actual nitty-gritty layout of the town.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another failure. And General, it is you.
Okay. So I'm still chasing them. They haven't stopped running yet.
You both are chasing them and kind of making. Part of me wants to say making ground, but it's really more keeping pace right now.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What are my skills right now? I have acrobatics, stealth. Shit. I don't know how I would use most of these to help me out here. How would I use acrobatics to get an edge on these kids?
I mean, this is a rather dense city. You might be able to try ducking
Could I do
around
like some
alleyways.
parkour to do some shortcuts or something?
Yeah, you can certainly try.
All right, because I have a +5 in acrobatics, and that's my biggest advantage here is acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
So roll that d20. Oh shit, 19. So 19 plus 5.
Yeah, that's definitely a success. You kind of see them scampering down one corner, and there's kind of a building in your way, and you kind of quickly piece together in your mind, if you head around, you might be able to gain some ground. And you see another individual kind of follow down immediately after them, and you go kind of another way and work to catch up in their general direction. Aaron,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Mm.
You have 3 more successes to win the challenge.
Let's say I'm not really like hoofing it or anything. I'm kind of like casually trying to keep up and figure out what's going on. Looks interesting enough, I guess. Let's see if I can sneak up on one of these guys. Use stealth.
Okay, you can certainly try.
$20.
That is a success.
Not natural 20, but pretty 20.
It takes a bit, but you do eventually kind of see a couple of them darting around behind buildings, almost splitting up. And you're able to kind of corner one on one side, and then it kind of darts down in another direction. Quickly roll me a perception check just for maintaining a beat on these guys.
14.
Okay. You kind of see them begin to recoup and regather a little bit further on the edge of town, and you're starting to chase them off towards the sides of the cities and the edges of the settlement.
A question: what is the ground made of?
It's kind of a cobblestone.
So not like dirt.
No.
Mm. Alright.
General, it is your turn.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
How far am I away from the kids now at this point?
You've kind of maintained... You've fallen behind a little bit, but by taking that other path, you kind of gained a little bit of your ground back. You're probably 30, 40 feet behind.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I roll another intimidation check. I'm gonna yell at these fuckers again, saying, "Give me back my damn gun, or I'm gonna kill you all."
Okay. Just so you know, since you've used intimidation once before, the DC is going to be a little bit higher.
Oh, well, shit. Okay. Didn't know that, but can I take that back then?
Yep, absolutely.
Or do... Okay. Is it out of the question to see if I can't try and do a stealthy method to get caught up, like disappear around a corner and reappear somewhere else? Because I also have a +5 in stealth.
You can certainly try.
Okay, I will try because that sounds better. Oh shit, 19. Damn, Google's making up for last time.
Yeah, really. Double ones, you get night tags. Now you get to stealth around corners and find children who steal your guns. And so in this stealth, it's less of you kind of creeping around a corner, but you begin to see them kind of splintering off into an alleyway. It begins to taper off, and so the alleyway begins to narrow and kind of twist and turn, and you see a couple of them start to splinter off, and one of them kind of goes to hide in some shadows, and you might be on them next turn.
Okay.
But
Good,
they are
good,
not
good.
hidden from you.
Is my turn over then?
Yep. And Aaron.
Okay.
Gale.
Alright. I will... Do I see that they're getting, like, cornered?
You can begin to see that they're splintering off.
I can't like corral them into a single area.
You'd need to kind of get in front of them for that. You might be able to. It's worth a shot.
I mean, I'm fast. I can jump up on top of buildings and do dope monk shit.
You can certainly try.
And do that.
What skill would that use?
Acrobatics? What we got? Like that, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and roll acrobatics.
Unless animal handling.
This
Corral
would not be
them? I
animal
don't know.
handling. Well, I mean, you can certainly try to, but it would be a higher DC for that.
No, I'll just do this. Ooh, that's good. 21. 17 plus 4.
Okay. Go ahead and open the Owlbear Rodeo link for combat. As you guys have kind of caught up to them and succeeded in the skill challenge. General, you are able to kind of place yourself wherever you feel like among the ground.
Here's the link.
Oh,
Hold on, I gotta open Discord on my iPad so it's easier to handle.
gotcha.
Alright, I'm set up. Where's the link?
Let me just re-put it in the chat. Boom.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Come on now, load.
It's taking me a while too.
Okay, good. And so the ones that you had kind of seen, I have marked as visible, General.
Why isn't it loading?
Here, let me just try and double the link just to be sure.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's taking a while.
I'm starting to see some stuff now.
And it's sweet time.
Alright. And so these are all that's here? It's just these two? It's not a group of more than that?
There were a total of 4 that you had seen at one point, but you only see the 2 of them right now.
Shit. Okay.
Do I know where they all are? I can't see anything yet.
You can get up on any of the roofs as well as you want from your last acrobatics check. You might be able to see some more from having that vantage point.
I want to go after this guy right here.
Okay.
Can't see anything yet, sorry.
Scavenger 1.
Hold on a moment so we can roll initiative once Aaron has it all
Oh, that's right.
opened.
Just roll initiative.
Yep, just straight initiative now.
Anyone. 19
21.
plus 2.
Okay.
Oh, we're rolling initiative. That's right.
Hold on
I need
one
to
second.
keep
I
playing.
gotta go for 1 missing. I'll be right back.
Oh, no. Google hates me again. I rolled a 2.
Okay. Okay, and one moment while I populate their hit points.
Man, he got quiet fast.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm back. Alright. So what's happening?
Uh,
I don't know yet.
has the link open for you yet?
Oh yeah, I'm on the link. I thought I didn't know if you were waiting for me to do something or what.
I was waiting on Aaron to get back.
Scavenger 2 and
Oh,
Scavenger 1. Then I'm in the middle there.
You can position yourself wherever you would like.
I not see the other two?
Uh, you might be able to if by following them onto the roofs as you had done with your last acrobatics check. So you might be able to reveal a couple more of their locations.
What's happening here? Because they're like splitting up.
Yeah, they were scattering at the end.
Like, which direction are they going? What's going on here?
It seems like they're trying to lose you.
Yeah, but what direction?
Oh,
Going like this way or that way or that way or this way?
generally heading towards this area.
Heading towards that area?
Yep. I was meaning to.
All of them?
Well, yeah, all of them, kind of in this general area. That is now showing up
Guess
better.
I'll be like up here,
Okay.
trying to cut them off.
1 second. Where's my? Okay. And boom. So you're able to get. Actually, from that point of view, you're able to get all of them.
nice.
Okay. And scavenger number 1 has first initiative. And they are going to use their beam blaster at the general.
Oh,
Beam blaster?
Yep. You watch as kind of their cloak falls down, and you kind of see a humanoid face, but it's kind of. There are lots of vertical lines kind of all about it, and it kind of flaps in and out on like clockwork pieces. And their chest kind of opens up, and you see a beam of light burst out at you.
damn it.
Beam burst. I thought you said bean as in like a jelly bean.
And that is a 20 to hit, not natural.
That
Not natural.
doesn't matter. I only have an armor class of 16. That hits.
My armor class is garbage, so...
You take a total of 10 points of radiant damage as it blasts.
Damn it.
And Aaron, Gale, it is now your action.
So, if I'm reading this right, Scavenger 3 is headed down way.
Yep.
Scavenger 4 is heading in this way as well, and then Scavenger 3, or Scavenger whatever this one, 2, kind of like moving their way in this way.
Scavenger 4 kind of seemed to be heading along this path here to maybe meet up back here or around at another junction. But yeah, in this general direction.
This one. Alright, I will make my way... Oh, wait, that's not the right thing. Make my way... was I correct on the direction of number 2? Is that 2?
Yep.
Alright. I'll make my way down this way. And I don't really want them splitting up. So I will... So get to the edge, and I'll water whip.
Okay.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Against which number?
Right. Number 4. I want to pull him in a little bit.
Water whip for number 4 dexterity saving throw. You said.
Mm-hmm.
That's not one of his proficient ones. That's a 6.
That fails.
Huh.
That's like a lot of damage.
Okay.
Ooh. 16 points of damage.
16, you say?
Yes, 1 at 6.
Oh,
He
you kind
gets
of. Okay.
pulled not onto the roof, but like, so to the point where he's like in line with him, but like, that he pretty much has to run his way.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. You kind of see as their rib cage kind of collapses under the weight of your whip as it kind of constricts around them, pulling them back.
Then still have like a bunch of stuff I can do. Can I like would jumping down hurt me?
Are you doing it as part of your turn or part of your movement?
Part of my movement. I want to like get down to here to kind of knock him off.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Right there, ish. And there, sure. No. Yeah, fine, whatever. Make acrobatics.
Yep.
12.
Okay, yep. You would be fine. These aren't
Graceful,
super high
yeah.
up buildings, and you've been trained for this.
I've trained myself for this. Thank you very much.
That is true. Technically more accurate
and
as
then
well.
bonus action. And just bonus action intimidate them to not move.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, hey, why don't you just chill out? Intimidation.
Okay.
That is a 19.
You shout out at them, and
Kind of like up here, just hey, don't go anywhere.
you see kind of, with kind of the whip of the wind from your cloak, theirs kind of fall back, and you kind of see the same kind of striated face. Kind of the head itself tilts to the side a little bit, and then they kind of open up and kind of pulse the different kind of pieces vertically, just kind of almost in confusion.
That's not entirely terrifying. That my bonus action?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, it is number 2's turn, who is going to, after having seen you on the roof, they're going to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, I know 5. I said that they were going this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. They are going to, you don't see them kind of crest the corner. They're going to hold their action.
Alright.
And number 3's turn. It's going to, you watch as its arm kind of opens up and kind of a chain falls out that begins to sharpen and kind of connect, and it's going to slash at you twice with its greatsword.
These aren't small children at all.
Nope. Okay. The first
Lied to
attack
me.
is a 25 to hit, and the second attack is a 10.
Strangely, it doesn't hit. What was the second one?
10.
Yeah, that one doesn't hit.
Okay. You
Neither
take...
does the first one.
What?
Just surprisingly.
Yeah. You take a total of 9 points of slashing damage. And now it's number 4's turn, who is going to do the same thing, and 2 attacks with their own sword construct thing. A 17 and a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. That's 13 points of slashing damage from both of those strikes. And the general, it is your action.
From both of them or a total?
Total.
I'm gonna take a shot at Scavenger 1 since he's right. Actually, no. What I want to do is what's it called? Wait, he doesn't have blood. I can't do Crimson Rebuke, can I?
You can certainly try.
The way you say that makes me hesitant to try.
It also looks like clockwork bullshit, so.
I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Kaplow.
Where's my dice? There we go. Roll. I roll a 16. And then what's my plus? What's my modifier? Dexterity?
Dexterity and then your proficiency as well, since you are good with fire.
So plus 3 dexterity, so it's 19. And what's my firearm modifier? Where do I see that? Oh, that's the proficiency, plus 2. So plus 5, so 21.
Yeah, you would have hit with just the dice roll as well. Their AC is 14.
Oh, okay, sweet.
But now you have that information.
How much, how do I remember damage again? That's, where's my pistol? Hold
D6
on.
plus your plus your dexterity.
Yeah, 1d6. Wait, it says 1d6 plus 5 already. Is that my dexterity then?
Yeah.
Alright, 1d6 plus 5. So 1d6. So I get 7 damage.
Okay. Okay. You land a nice slug kind of in its chest. Okay. Yep. These guys are not.
Can I move away from it while I'm doing that? Like take a few steps back?
Yep. You are not in its combat range right now, so you are free to move away.
I'd like to keep a big enough distance to help me here, because otherwise the thing might hit me again.
Okay. Number 1 is its turn again. It's going to kind of chase after you. Now it's going to get into your combat range, and it's going to kind of do the same thing that the other two were doing with Gale, and kind of slash out its arm, kind of unfolding the metal components and drawing a sword out of chains that were stored within it. And it's going to 2 great sword attacks.
Sword.
And that's a 10 to hit, so miss. And that's a 10 to hit, so miss.
Okay, good.
And it is now Gale.
I sense that these guys are gonna back down or not?
Just as free right now to answer your question, roll me insight.
11.
11. You get there was a curiosity, but they seem to be immune to the frightened condition.
I mean, I wasn't really trying to, like, scare them. I was just trying to get them to stop. They were also attacking me, so I guess not.
Do something cool. Do something cool.
Of unbroken air into 3. Can I hit him into 4?
You can certainly try.
Make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw for number 3. Okay. They're not bad at strength. That's a 22.
Surprisingly, that saves.
But what does Fist of Unbroken
So I
Air
just
do?
don't do anything. It doesn't do anything if I fail.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Who wrote that?
I think that's his handbook. So that was my expended charges that I just had free reign of.
Oh, okay.
Kaplow, kaplow. 2 attacks.
Okay.
19 and 16 plus 4, 20.
Yep, both of those
420.
hit.
Five damage and oh geez, 6 damage.
Against which number?
Oh, whoever's right in front of me. 3.
So 5 and 6, okay. You kind of hit him, and while the metal kind of stings your knuckles at first, you do kind of feel it give. It's not the hardest metal. They're not expensively manufactured.
And then that's my that's everything.
Okay. It is number 2's go. They were not able to use their turn, and it's going to position itself right here, and it's going to attempt to use its beam blaster at you. And that
My cat's trying to eat a band. Right, sorry.
that's an 11 to hit.
Happening. It does not.
Okay. You watch as it kind of opens up its chest and kind of almost reforms its piece around a glowing ball of energy that fires out at you and just kind of goes wide.
Hey, not nice. Stop it.
Number 3 is going to attack at you twice with their greatsword. That's a...
Bring it on.
It's a 23 to hit and a natural 1. Okay, and
Disappointing.
that's cocked. That is 8 points of slashing damage. And number 4, not being in Water Whip, is that... okay, so
what?
it is not grappled. I was just checking the...
Oh, it's just a wallop towards me.
Okay. It's going to move over here
Not
towards...
expect anything fun or amazing from a 4 elements monk.
Okay.
They kind of suck.
It's going to move over there towards number 2. And ready in action if you chase after it. And that was number 4. General, it is you.
I'm gonna back up again from the scavenger one and take another shot at it.
Okay, it's going to take an attack of opportunity against you. And that's a miss.
I also have what is it called? Armor of Crimson. I'd like to apply it to my stealth.
Okay. That's cool.
And that uses 2 hit dice?
2 or 3, depending, because that's what you have left.
Just the 2.
Okay. Go ahead and... if I remember correctly, that gives you temporary HP equal to a roll of those dice.
Okay, and what are the hit dice?
Your hit dice are D10s.
D10s. Alright, sweet.
They change Blood Hunters to D10s?
He is not a blood hunter. He has a feat that gets this.
Anyway, did they change them to D10s?
Yes.
I got
Like I
13,
told you because
so...
D8 was too low.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so you
So
have
with 13, does that give me 13 more health?
13 temporary HP. So the next 13 hit points are basically going to be reflected back. And you don't...
So... Okay, so I don't put... Okay. How do I make sure that I mark that down?
In the temporary... There should be a temporary HP area that you can put 13 in. Or...
I don't see it.
Are you on D&D Beyond?
I'm on reroll.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
I'll make a note of it for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, and
Then I need to shoot at it, so roll a d20.
Armor of Crimson, I believe. Is that an action or a bonus action?
Let me look.
What did I do for this crazy spell?
Spells. Nope, that's the wrong spell. Hold on. Armor of Crimson. It's an action, so I can't shoot at the same time.
Correct. But you are now resistant to it firing at you or doing its thing.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1's going to come after you and great sword attack into you with 2 strikes. That is a 12 to hit. And that is a 13 to hit.
So they both miss.
Yep. Okay. Aaron or Gale.
Wait. What do I have? I only have like. Yeah. I can do one cool shit thing, or one myth thing. I see 4 and 2.
You can see all of them from where you are.
I don't like that 4 ran away from me. Make a dex saving throw 4.
Number 4 makes a dex save. Okay.
Actually, yeah, no, 4. Why not?
Oh, come on. Stay in my tray, dice. Okay, that's... And... That's an 11.
Hey, that fails by 1.
Okay, number 4.
I rolled pretty good. 17 damage.
Okay. What are you doing to it?
Water whip. So a giant plume of water hits it from behind, straight at me. Putting him right there.
Well, you kind of go and drag him, but the corpse kind of is dragged along the cobblestone, and you see it just breaking apart as your water...
So he's dead.
Yes.
Alright, so then I will do my bonus action to smack number 3.
Okay.
Whapa. Yeah, that's a fail. 8.
8? No. Armor class of 14.
Yep.
What are you using to attack?
All my key points are gone.
What?
Hmm?
What were you using to attack?
That was just unarmed strike bonus action.
Gotcha. Okay. It is number 2's turn. It's going to do its beam blaster against you, or try to. That's a natural 1, so no, it's not. It's just gonna lob another...
You suck. Stop it. Get over here and fight like a real man.
It's not a real man. It's a real robot.
A real robot. Look at number 3 and number 1. They're pretty cool. Like up in our face.
Number 3 is going to attack with its greatsword, and that's a natural 2, and that is a...
Oh, come on, now you're failing me.
Well, that's a 17, so don't get too comfortable.
Hey, I'm taking some damage. Come on.
I mean, it's 17, so plus 6, so you know it still would hit.
Yeah.
So that's 6. That's 10 points of slashing damage from the number 3's greatsword.
Boy. Chunk of damage.
What?
It's a chunk of damage.
Yeah. They're not These guys are not throwaways. They are experienced in their con. General, it is your action.
I will take a shot at number one again
Okay.
because he's right there.
Pop, pop. Well, just pop right now.
Let's see, where's my dice one? Shit, I have too many web pages open. There it is. Roll a d20. Oh no. I roll a 2 plus, what was it, 5? Yeah, that's not going to hit shit.
That's not going to hit. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I still have my armor up, so no, I'm good.
Okay.
If I move away, it gives him an opportunity, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to give him an opportunity.
Okay. He's going to slash into you twice with his greatsword since it's now his turn. That is a 10 to hit, so miss. And that is a 14.
Don't seem too scared.
20, so that hits, but like,
Oof.
I mean, it's gonna hit your armor, so
Okay.
that deals. Sorry, 1 second. 14 points of slashing damage, but it kind of impacts your armor of crimson, and you watch as the blood that is now floating around you mid-air kind of crystallizes and catches on the spikes, almost kind of turning them to rust, and it takes damage as well. And I said
Nice.
So you still have one temporary hit point.
Monster?
Okay, sweet.
And it takes... That was number 1? Okay, so... Okay. It is... Gale, it is your action. Armor of Crimson is kind of a version of Armor of Agathis. Just to be on the record for saying so.
I'm out, so I'm gonna just wallop and a wallop. That's a 14 to hit. This is with my staff, so that's a 6 of damage.
Okay.
And a wallop. That's a 2 for a total of 6, so that does not do 6 damage.
So 6 damage total?
Damage total.
Okay. And, okay.
Just rolled to see what damage would have done.
Gotcha. Hang on.
It's a lot of arms. A question.
Yes.
What time is it?
Right now it is 11:02 or 10:02 your time.
Oh, no, in game.
Oh.
I have
Well,
a clock here.
My mistake for
Midday on night.
No, that's okay.
Midday.
Midday, alright.
It is, you just went, so it's secret number, not secret, that's what I wrote down on my page here. But it is scavenger number 2's turn, and they're going to attempt to beam blast you again, because ranged is
Come on, dude, you suck! Don't do that! Get over here and stab me!
That's a 21 to hit.
Ooh.
Okay, I misjudged you.
That's 11 points of radiant damage.
Hold on 1 second here. But don't bite. Stop biting. Stop biting. No. Alright. Here we go. How much damage was it?
11.
11.
and then it's number three's turn, and they're gonna do great sword.
Hey.
What?
So, I had 2 hit points.
Oh,
However, stop. No. I had 2 hit points. However, when he strikes me, a bunch of shadows appear, and I get real fucking angry, and my eyes turn weird, and I get back up at 1 hit point.
that's cool.
I need to roll a 16. I rolled an 18 plus 1.
That is super cool.
5 plus damage taken.
Number 18, that first attack is gonna miss, as is their second. That's unfortunate, but lucky for you.
I mean, I'm at 1 hit point.
That is true.
You guys suck. I'm like taunting them the whole time. Like, you guys suck!
And then finally,
Why am
one
I
hits
here?
you. General, it is your action.
Great. I will go ahead and shoot Scavenger 1 again,
Okay.
because he's right there. Roll 13 plus 5,
That
so
hits.
18.
That hits.
And then it's a d6 that does the damage plus 5.
Yep.
9 damage.
Okay. How do you want to do that? Or you
I
can.
want to put it between his eyes and watch him crumble like a paper cup.
You watch. You kind of. In his last lunging move against your armor of crimson, the head kind of gets close, and so you just kind of instinctively whip around your arm with your gun and just kind of put it like straight up against the head and pull the trigger, and you watch as there is now not only a decent sized dent, but a hole at the center of it, and the scavenger just kind of crumples and falls over.
There we go.
Okay, what would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
How do I get hit dice back? I don't remember the rules for that.
You take a long rest, and you can only get up to half of them back.
Okay, so I don't want to use any more hit dice then, because I only have 1 left, so let's save that for emergencies. Can I run this far over here, or is that outside of my running range?
You have 30
I don't
feet
know
of
how the
movement,
squares are.
So 1 second.
How are the squares divided up?
5 feet, so 5,
Oh.
10. Oh, wait.
Duck.
You could probably get
My
Right.
web page froze.
Like here or here, I think.
The web page froze. I can't see anything you guys are doing. Hang on.
but you also do have range since you have ranged pistols.
All right. So if I can get over here, then I'll take a pot shot, or not a pot shot, but I'll get over here so I can set up myself for scavenger 2.
You can do an action surge against them, which would let you take another shot.
Will that cost me hit dice?
No, that's just a fighter thing.
Oh,
Then,
that's just.
then I'll
just
do an
fine.
action surge so I can shoot him.
Okay.
How does action surge work? Is it something I can do for every turn, or?
You just get like an extra action that turn.
It's
Okay.
just 1 right now.
But I can do that
Bonus
every
action.
turn I have, or how does that work?
No.
It's
You
No?
just get 1 bonus action.
you just get 1
Not
free.
not a
second
bonus action, but a special extra action.
For the fight, and then I have to wait a rest or something to do the action surge again?
I
Yep.
think it's long rest.
Yeah, it's
Long rest? Okay. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and use an action surge to shoot him then.
Okay.
Roll the d20. 9 plus, what was my booster? Was it 5? Yeah, 5. So 14. Does that hit him?
That does hit.
Okay, sweet. Roll the d6. Oh, just 6 damage.
Plus your dexterity?
Yep, I rolled a 1.
Gotcha. Looks injured. Definitely caught by
Good.
surprise. The other two now, the other one seeing that you are now there, number 2, it kind of you watch as instead of it turning around and the cloak is kind of off, it just kind of flips itself inside out, and you watch as the face kind of implodes, but almost arcs around, and it's now facing in the opposite direction without having moved at all. And it's going to
That's cool.
use its beam blaster against you. Kind of shoot. That's a miss.
Say.
And now that you are in sight of number 2, number 4 automatically has that information because they are connected. And it's going to move up here and beam blaster at you as well.
Hey. It exploded.
Wait, number 3?
Um.
I meant number 3. That was
I get to punch him.
you get to punch him. Yes.
That's fine. Did he hit me?
9 plus 5 is 14.
No, never
so-
mind. I don't hit him.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
good.
he didn't hit either. So.
All right.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I actually skipped your turn. My mistake.
It's fine.
So you go ahead.
It's my turn.
Yep, it is. It was your turn when number 3 was right here. So I'll let you go ahead and do that before.
No, keep it like that. Keep it like that. It was good. I liked it.
Okay. we can work with this mess up.
Run up. My quarter. I'm all angry. I'm gonna make a quarterstaff attack with green flame blade.
Ooh, cool.
Quarterstaff. Quapla. Oh shit, that's a 16.
That hits.
1d8. That's a 9 damage to him.
It's number 3.
And then, what is green? Yeah.
Okay.
It's the fucking, Hold on, I gotta roll.
I believe
Okay.
part of the damage just goes over to the other one nearby.
Two damage.
Okay. 2 damage is
Fire
not enough
damage
to
is
kill.
my. I just.
You watch as
And then.
you kind of spin your staff around, and kind of from it you see spectral blades kind of carving out from the center of the staff and just shredding through number 3, and parts of it just kind of ricochet and hit number 2 as well. Then, what next do you do?
Bonus attackers attack again.
Okay. 1 second while I remove number 3 from the field as he is dead.
Oh, well then. Move up and then attack again. It's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, it only does 3 damage.
Okay.
I'm just raged, just beating the shit out of them.
Okay. This one is... It's confused. Sorry, it's actually the general's turn since it took its action before you. And I was wrong. General, it is your action.
Okay. And you said which one was that? Number 3?
You are only left with number 2, yes.
Oh, number 2. I'll take a shot at number 2. So roll. Where's my dice page? Roll d20. Ooh, 19 plus 5. That hits.
That definitely hits.
7 damage.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
I want to like snipe him right through his eye.
Pow.
Just like take the back of his head out.
Gale, you feel kind of as bits of gear kind of start splintering off of it and hit you. As number 2 is now...
I take 1 point of damage.
No. Not enough to do that.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, you still have to live.
Unfortunate.
I'm just being me.
I know.
Ow!
Sorry, dude.
Play your second character some other time.
Can I look through the rubbish to find my other pistol, please? I want it back desperately.
We'll try and help, but I don't know what I'm looking for.
Okay, both of you.
I just show him my pistol and tell him this is my other pistol and tell him what it looks like.
I'm not
Show him
paying
what it looks
attention.
like.
I'm going to look for something interesting.
Both of you make investigation checks, or one of you with advantage.
Let's see. I
rolled
think I have a good investigation. I think I have +4. Hit reroll, pop up. Oh, shit, let me look. Yeah, I have +4 investigation.
Okay.
So
I rolled a 0.
let me roll. What I roll D20.
Yep, D20 plus investigation.
All right. Oh no, I rolled a 5. So 9 total.
Okay. It's a lot to go through now because they have kind of imploded and cracked down and been broken. And so it's kind of hard to make, and you kind of hear people start to come around, but you're still have enough time with the corpses if you would like to make a second check and kind of continue
Would
searching.
please, because
You get advantage.
I want to roll that again. That sucked.
Go ahead and
Oh,
roll
this
it
time I
again.
rolled an 11.
And roll it.
You do
Wait.
your thing.
Roll it again.
Roll again.
And then choose the better of the two.
The higher roll.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the 11 because I rolled a 2 again.
Okay.
So 11 plus 4 is no, not 13. 15.
Okay.
Losing my mind.
You actually do find several things on their bodies. And kind of, you find your gun primarily on number 1, which was the one that you'd kind of left on the other side. So you're able to get that back.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of pulling it out, you watch as kind of the face kind of flexes, almost reflexively. I guess that's the word. Just kind of is moving in and out, just kind of jittering, as if, broken, definitely. Opening and closing, just open, close, and you kind of hear a deep voice come from within it that you had not heard before, and it's, "You will be found." And that just kind of echoes.
Fuck you.
And then you kind of hear it popping out from the other one. "You will be found." And then just kind of echoing around in the chambers. And they kind of start sparking and then collapse. But also
That's
among
kinda
these bodies,
rude.
with that investigation check, you find lots of knickknacks. You find several kind of documents. It would probably be better to go through those at a different time, or at least just kind of listening to the noises coming from the streets and such. Several rings, a couple daggers, a dagger hilt, as it appears. That's several sets of documents, 2 daggers, dagger hilt, and a couple rings, and your gun, of course.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to introduce myself to my new buddy.
What the fuck's going on here? So you're
These
chasing
little-
these guys, they attack you and attack me? I'm almost fucking dead. What happened?
These little piss ants looked like street urchins, so I gave them a couple coins and they took off with my gun.
You do get your
My
coins back.
name's
Fuck, bro,
General,
you
by
gotta
the
keep your
way.
shit on you. Your shit on you.
What?
Your shit on you. Don't let other people take that. It's your shit.
I mean, they just snuck up on me.
I mean, you can't get snuck up on. That's a bad thing. Especially in this shit. You
No.
been to a city? Woof.
I was just helping out a little urchin, and then it turned out to be an evil robot and it stole my gun, so I murdered it.
I mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Usually they're not killer robots. Usually they're just shitty people. You know. Next time, just tell them to fuck off. Like, need a nap. Or maybe a donut.
You and me both.
You know a donut shop around here? I'm not from around here.
I'm
Obviously
looking more for blacksmiths at the moment than I am donuts.
donuts, then blacksmith.
I can live with that arrangement.
Alright, let's find a donut shop.
I'm
Okay.
game.
We try to find a donut shop.
By the way, Seth, you do get your 2 silver pieces back.
Oh, yes, thank you. I should put that
Any
in
other
my
cash
thing.
on them?
Game over. We won. It's done.
There actually are some coins on them. It's kind of hard to. It's weird. It's weird coins, but they're kind of silverish, kind of a dark silver, with little purple cresting, kind of glinting in the light.
Yeah, I don't. If I don't know what currency it is, I'm not gonna take it. Boring shit.
Seth, do you take it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, go ahead and mark down that you have 5 electrum.
Oh, I know
Five
what
what?
electrum are.
They're not a standard currency.
Oh,
Anymore,
okay.
so
Yes, but I don't know.
at least that's how I rule it. It's old. Or weird. It's
You
more
said,
weird
what's
than
it called? Electra?
Electrum. It's a
Electrum.
halfway point between gold and silver, I think.
Yep.
It's 5 silver worth. Hey,
But you are able to find a donut shop if you'd like. But let's also cut back to Coritas, as
That sounds like a
we've
good
been
idea.
on the spotlight.
Lepticus and 13 are within the guard's outpost. After having come to witness, or at least being suspected in the freezing of a well cataclysmically, and the apparent murder of an individual who has yet to be named. Not that I haven't named them, but of course I named them. Nonetheless, you are both brought to this outpost, and the kind of officer kind of sits down across from you. Where were you earlier, between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. for both of you?
I
Wait,
believe
what?
that time I was in the alley, and I was sleeping. Before that, I was in the alchemist shop. You can verify that with him. I was translating some papers.
I've only just gotten here.
Okay. And which depot did you drive into?
Hmm. You know, I don't recall. I'm telling the truth, by the way, I actually don't. If it was mentioned,
it
I'm not remembering it.
was called the Crown. You probably would. That's something that your character would have remembered. It hasn't been that long since you arrived.
Oh, you know what? I believe the crown was what it was called.
Okay. He kind of
Yeah.
sits back and looks at you. Okay. You carrying any weapons? I already collect from this one, and kind of gestures over towards 13.
I do have a fencing sword on my hand and a dagger, both, personal protection, self-defense.
The officer kind of looks at it intently and then gives it back, and then eventually passes your weapons over back, 13.
Okay.
Oh, these weren't.
It is appreciated. Thank you, officer.
You see that he's kind of frustrated because you two were, at least in his mind in that moment, kind of perfect for this. It seemed as though you had returned to the scene of the crime, kind of seeing how it was reacting and playing out. And I mean, he'll just upright and tell you this. And you were the easy answer. And
It's fair, officer. I understand the answer that right in front of you, while it not be the correct one, is usually the most easiest, and if it is convenient.
Well, sir, I'm sorry you think that way, but I have a perfect alibi. I've only just arrived here, and I've in fact spent several years of my life at a university. I want to give him information about the university I was at. The name, general idea of what I did there.
he kind of nods along and understands your side of the story, and you see his face kind of relax a bit. There's a strange twinge of disappointment that he hadn't solved the case faster, but understanding. You see him kind of before you go, one last thing. And have you heard of the kind of pauses for a moment trying to recount the words and then pulls out the wax papers that had been, or the waxed papers, adjective instead of, that had been in the ice. And have you ever heard of the Codex Umbra?
Does not sound familiar to me, but what is this Umbra Codex?
It doesn't ring a bell for me either, but I am curious what that is.
The officer is kind of looking annoyed. A little bit, once again, kind of the same disappointment almost. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Both of us, or me, or just him?
One of you with advantage, both of you, your call.
I don't mind doing it for both of us. I got pretty high charisma and stuff.
I'll try to roll on my own, actually.
Okay. I'm cool either way.
You guys are both charisma based. Bard and Ilrigur.
That is true.
Let's see how we stand. Ahoy! That is a modified 21.
Got a 12.
I reversed your number and took it as my own.
Yes.
Kind of.
Judging based on the name. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Continue.
Say what you're gonna say.
Judging based on the name, it has some sort of codex of dark things, correct? Umbra at the base word meaning shadow or opaque.
The guard kind of nods and flips the paper around towards you, and it's very simple in what it reads. It reads, 1 every night until the Codex Umbra is delivered to the Alderman's hut. Anyone stupid enough to be there when the Codex is delivered will be painfully and slowly executed.
Well, I guess I'm not going.
I would advise that as well for myself and anyone who wishes to live as by this note.
Is there the guard kind of looks back towards you, and we've been asking around. We've sent agents to multiple different resources, different libraries, different archives. We have yet to find any text or thing that would fit this description. Is there anywhere you would be familiar with that might have such a treasure? Apparently.
I've heard that the mountain that has currently been mining magical items, that might be a lead for something as powerful as what can cause catastrophes as such as this. I'm sorry. Dystrophy.
Lepticus doesn't say anything, but he kind of looks over at the Warforged as he talks about this mountain full of magic items.
There's a magic item of such importance based on the research around the mountain. I would guess it would be there as the best bet, unless it has been claimed from there already and is used by someone.
At this time, you see another guard enter the outpost, and this time with them is another humanoid. You see their skin kind of glisten a little bit, and their long hair, red armor, with strange glyphs kind of carved over it that are unfamiliar to you, at least. And Lepticus, you kind of catch a whiff of something that's odoriferous and fish-like. But at the same time, with this individual, they carry a item that is 4 long copper rods with a glass insert and 2 brass end caps. And kind of inside of this glass insert is black smoke. And they kind of just set it down on the guard's table and look up to them. And so we're going hunting, are we? Go ahead and roll insight, just to get a read.
I want to roll to know what that is.
Got a modified 20.
I got a 17.
You kind of, a lot of these words have kind of filtered their way through, and you're still processing them, but at one point you read it and it's almost convenient. Well, maybe this is the codex, but then who is this, and why would they have it, and even more importantly, how would they know about it? And
Ability low.
what?
Sorry, I just said probability low.
The individual kind of reaches their hand forward, and they reaches their hand forward to the guard and says, "The Penumbra Syndicate would like to be of service with your aid in catching whoever's behind this." And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Okay.
Well, if it wasn't corny, I'd give you a round of applause, so I'll just compliment you instead. Dude, that was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Hey, thank you.
Round of applause. Yeah, I don't care about corn. Round of applause.
It's too corny. It's too corny. I complimented him. I complimented him.
I'm waving my arms around in a circular motion, so it is a round of applause.
Oh, dear God. You've added extra corn.
You know what?
Yes.
I'll add a single popcorn to this.
Does anyone have...
Discord's not picking up that one clap I did.
I heard, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Just making sure, does anyone have any questions or anything going forward?
You have Penumbra helping them.
Yeah. They're in town.
My enemies.
They're in town. They're hanging out. You know.
They're cool. They're actually very cool.
Real quick
I'm
question.
gonna take control of them one day.
I've never seen what any of this means.
Jacob?
What is the relation between the Penumbra and Blackbeard, if any?
You've never heard of them before.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, the Order of the Black Tier is primarily based in Ravenforge. They've got a bead on pretty much every criminal organization there. The Penumbra Syndicate is from Viseria. They are a very loose amalgam of individuals who they don't show their faces often, and they mostly deal only in extraplanar sorts of research, and so they have not yet pinged on the Tier's radar.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, you wouldn't know that information necessarily, but for just clarification.
Yeah, this is OOC.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the session.
Yeah, dude, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope everyone has a good night, and I won't see you next week, but the week after, because we're holding off next week's session because, right,
Camping.
for the... Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay, in that case, hope you have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Night.
See you guys.
Wait, how come we're holding off next week's session?
Andy and I are going camping.
Yeah, have
Okay.
have that. And Jacob
Alright,
had
team.
a comeuppance, I believe, with a magic release.
I see. That is fine. Okay.
But Andrew,
Yep.
one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Sure thing.
This Gale. So one thing I kind of wanted to do with him, I kind of thought it would be an interesting thing, is whenever he, so like at nighttime, or whenever he uses like extensive use of his Shadowfell magic, he gets really aggravated and kind of pissy.
Okay. How...
That's why I was.
Okay. That works perfectly well for roleplay, and Is there anything mechanical
Yeah.
that would help you better
Really?
facilitate
Like that? I just wanted to justify the reason why, like, I burned down the encampment, sort of like because I thought because you thought I was like being super nice or whatever.
that? Oh no,
I just wanted to clarify. Yes, DM.
you are good.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. I will keep that in the back and use it narratively, perhaps, if such encounters warrant.
Sure. I was thinking like because the Shadowfell is kind of just negative emotion personified. Well, he's kind of infected with that, so if it bubbles to the surface, a guy who doesn't really give a shit about one way or another is pretty easily, rocked with that kind of stuff.
The Shadowfell in my world, it does have a lot of that, but it's also a lot more. And
I can assume that, but like Shadowfell, I at least basic lore is just like everything but turned gray and sad and terrible, and everyone hates each other and negative emotion.
it'll definitely be interesting to explore. We might even, depending on the direction of the campaign,